I've gotten some really small, annoying manifestations, like bugs or a mouse in the house. How does that happen? I know it sounds really silly, but it's really annoying because it's just like my house is really clean. I have a cleaner, all of that, and then still this.
So the larger question is, why is it that I am not able to create a perfect environment for myself at all times?
Yes, I suppose.
Well, first we want to, they're laughing because it does feel like a little bit of a silly question, but there are no silly questions, and we're happy to address it. Anytime you're getting something that you don't want, Jerry and Esther don't have a problem with bugs. They have a problem with breakfast being late in every hotel.
I think I got that today. My breakfast was late, and I was
is late, and not only is it late, but it's not right when it gets there, and it's not right, and it's late, and now it's too late to make it right. Mm-hmm. So this annoying little bug that they carry with them from place to place is because they observe and then do nothing about their vibration until the next time it happens, where they observe and do nothing about their vibration until the next time it happens, where they observe and do nothing about their vibration until the next time it happens, where they observe and do nothing about it until the next time it happens, where they observe and do nothing about it until the next time it happens. And we suspect that what's really going to happen is it's going to have to really get big. It's going to have to not show up at all for a few days, or when it comes, be utterly poison or something, before it will be important enough. That's the key. What does it take? What does it take to make something important enough for you to make it an object of a focus wheel, or an object of focus at all? You see, most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. And so when you observe reality as it is and have a knee-jerk vibrational response to it, you are simultaneously creating the solution, but your observation of what is, your observation of what is, your observation of what is, keeps you from being able to experience the solution, even though the solution is there. And that's the thing we would say to you with your bugs, and Jerry and Esther with their late breakfast. If you could accept that over here in your vortex, a wonderful experience has been really queued up for you, because this is something that's been annoying you for quite a long time. The more annoyed you are by something, the more opportunity it has had to gather together in vibrational form. But you've got to make the vibrational shift, and you never do it when you're looking at the bug or when you're looking at the late breakfast. That's not the time to try to make your shift. In other words, that's not the time to offer cheerful words and try to make it all right. When you offer cheerful words about something that you don't want, you're only fooling yourself, you see.
Yeah.
What you want to do is take the hit, and instead of being upset with the hotel, or upset with the people who aren't watching what they're doing, or upset with something that you can't control, you want to be aware that it's your control that you're reaching for. I have the ability to summon to myself the environment that I want. I have the ability to bring into focus what I want. I have the ability to see it as I want it to be rather than as it is. Now these questions, as light and frivolous as they seem, because neither one of them is very important, is really talking about the most important thing that a deliberate creative seminar could ever discuss, and that is, do I have the ability to focus beyond the reality that is so vivid? And therein lies the problem that most people live. Your reality is so vivid, and you are so good at translating it and documenting it and discussing it and noticing it and responding to it. You let your reality drag you around by the hair. And that's why you're upset. That's why you're upset when something doesn't go well. It's not because that issue in and of itself, as we said as a woman, no, you're not. I'm sad because my lover left. No, you're not. You're not upset because your breakfast is late, or you're not upset because you've got bugs in your house, or you're not upset because somebody did something inappropriately. You're upset because you keep inadvertently, unconsciously, lazily, sloppily focusing on what is instead of upon what you want, because you are so enamored on what is. You said, I'm hooked on Abraham, or I'm addicted to Abraham. And we say, well, that's refreshing because most people are hooked on reality. Most people are hooked on reality. They're looking at it, they're talking about it, they're blogging about it, they're CNNing about it, they're observe, and you're bigger than that. You're bigger than only your ability to observe. You are creators. Creators observe briefly and then focus beyond what is. You got to see your world as free of war before it will be free of war. You can't keep beating the drum of enthusiasm for war or abhorrence with war. You can't keep letting war be the object of your attention and ever find yourself at peace. Peace has to be what you focus upon. It must be what you train your vibration to be about, you see. So whether you're at war with bugs or the kitchen staff at the hotel or Afghanistan, it makes little difference. It's all the same thing. You've got to see it as you want it to be and train your vibration there. So how do you do that? How do you look at a bug and see the absence of a bug? Well, you can't. You can't do that. So you got to stop looking at the bugs. But they're there and I don't like them. Well, don't look at them if you don't like them, and don't think about them. Well, doesn't somebody need to deal with them? Well, maybe, but you keep attracting them by your attention to them. Seriously, we're not kidding you. You have to see beyond what is. You have to see beyond what is until it's like, if you ever lost something and you can't find it, and then you find it and it was right where you'd been looking, and you think somebody was tricking you. I looked there and I looked there and I looked there and it wasn't there. Well, you can't find something that's lost. You just can't, vibrationally speaking. You have to most of the time, don't you have to go off and forget about it, forget it's lost, and then you just stumble upon it? Because the universe knows where it is and will show you, but can't show you while the most active vibration in your vibration is that it's lost, you see. And it's true of all things. You've got to decide which part of the equation is going to be active for you. And once you make your inside the vortex solutions more active than your outside the vortex problems, the problems go away. But you want to bless those problems because they helped you find the solution, and the solution is expansion. So we want you to make peace with your problems, and in many ways, making peace with a problem, befriend the bugs, befriend these blessed, well-meaning hotel staff people, befriend them, give them the benefit of the doubt, love them for what they do, appreciate the fact that you got one milk even though you wanted two. In other words, appreciate that you're eating something. As you make peace with what is, it's the fastest way to become a vibrational match to the solution. But you see, we're not trying to put pest control out of business. But pushing against in that way is an invitation for more. In other words, you can't kill them as fast as you're attracting them.
No, I can't.
That's really the message. You can't kill them as fast as you are attracting them. It's true of terrorists too. It's true of anything. It's true of cancer cells. True. It's true of everything that you do not want. You just can't push it away with your out of the vortex action faster than you're bringing them into your experience. So by making peace with it, we mean saying things more like, well, they were here first, and they want a place to be too, and they really don't want to be inside this house. They would rather be out there where more of what they want is. And I don't fault them for finding their way in. They're exploring also, and I've carved out this space for me, and I want them to find a place that they've carved out for themselves. And meanwhile, I understand that we have this little exchange that's going on, and I don't fault them for being. But you see, that's the thing. There are many people who adopt an attitude of life about I'm right and the space that I've carved out is right for me, and anything that doesn't match that then doesn't deserve to be alive in this world. And so, because I don't want you here, then I have to destroy you, or I have to get rid of you. You are a pest to me. This is really an important conversation. Everything I don't want is a pest to me, meaning it has the power of asserting itself, its unwanted self, into my experience. And we want to convince you that nothing has the power to assert its unwanted experience in your experience. Nothing has that power. Everything comes by invitation, and it's hard to accept that, because people would say exactly what you've just said, or would say more emphatically, I would not attract these things that I do not want. I would not bring them because I do not want them. And we say the flaw in your thinking is that you think because you do not want them that you are not attracting them, where it is your attention to them that keeps them coming.
I wasn't thinking about them, they just appeared one day. Do you know what I mean? Like they just materialized one day.
Before the pest company had been hired?
Yeah.
And this was the first pest company you've ever had in your life?
Yes, in this house. I've lived there 6 years. I've never had a problem.
And so there's nothing in my vibration that has attracted these. They just showed up in my experience.
I was feeling irritated about other things.
That's the way the reality seems, but it cannot be that way. In other words, the analogy that we would offer you, a woman said, Abraham, I'm driving across the Bay Bridges and I'm having panic attacks and I don't know why. I've been driving across these Bay Bridges for 6 years. Well, her time was different than yours. I've been driving across these Bay Bridges for years and I've never felt this way. And we said, well, you must be bumping into some thought forms, which she didn't like the idea of that. What do you mean? And we said, well, there are people who drive across the bridges who are afraid. The earthquake had brought some bridges down not long before. And so there are people who feel tension and fear as they go across the bridge, and everyone who thinks a thought, the thoughts never go away. In other words, the thoughts are always continue. Once a thought is thought, it continues to exist. There are people who go across the bridges and feel wonderful also. So there are all kinds of thought forms that you could rendezvous with. We said to her, the question is, what has been going on in your experience that would make you now a vibrational match to this feeling of vulnerability when you weren't before? And she said, I know exactly what it is. My neighbor was burglarized. And I've been going to meetings. We're trying to decide if we want to hire a watchman or put bars on our windows or make it a gated community. And so she realized that something that had nothing to do with the bridge was responsible for her feeling of vulnerability, which showed up in that way. And so the same thing is true here. In other words, while you may not have been thinking of the pesky, that was the word you used. In other words, how does the manifestation feel to you? Whenever a manifestation occurs, and in this case, it's a manifestation of insects. You've been in the house all these years and never had it before. This manifestation of insects, how did it make you feel? Well, you describe it as they're pests, they're unclean.
Irritated.
I'm irritated by it. And so then we wanted to say back to you, the irritation, the essence of that was present in your vibration. Otherwise, those pests would not have found a vibrational harmony in that environment. We're not kidding you. It's true of everything. Now, this is a stretch for a lot of people because they're thinking, oh, well, insects are a fact of life, and everybody has some in their house from time to time, and she's more lucky than anything that she didn't have them for 6 years than she is attracting them now that she has them. And we say that really isn't the case. Everything that you experience comes in response to something that's active in your vibration. So like the woman relative to the bridge, where we said what's been going on, what's been happening in your experience where your aggravation of pesky things has been activated. Can you pinpoint something?
I switched careers. Well, I got laid off a couple of months ago, which was perfect because I wanted some time and space. And I think I've been annoyed with my sister for certain things and my ex-boyfriend, and I guess it was all sort of bubbling in the background, a few different things going on.
Well, it's fortunate with all that going on that it's only bugs that are a problem. But we just want to, we really want to say to you that let's just take this off the subject of insects, but yet let's use the terminology in an effective way anyway. Pesticides is not the answers to resistance.
Yes.
And yet it feels like that's what you want to do. Something goes wrong and you want to get something and spray it to make it go away. In other words, spray the cancer, spray the terrorists, spray the insects, spray the unwanted things. Let's find some way of eradicating the unwanted things from my life, but heaven forbid should I have to clean up my vibration. No, I won't clean up my vibration. I'll buy pesticides. Really good conversation.